Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on Injustice, Gods Among Us Volume 1, Part 1 graphic novel review. Now, as you know, these are meant to be comic book filler that fills in what happens before the events of the game. There are 5 each years, each having tragic deaths, tragic consequences, and so on. Let's get on the story. It starts off how in Gotham at the present, Batman is looking over, knowing that Gotham City is no longer ruled by fear and crime, but instead ruled by Superman and his regime. It goes back 5 years ago, before Superman lost everything. He pretty much hears the sounds of 2 heartbeats coming from Lois, showing that she's pregnant. And Superman just looks happily, knowing that there's going to be someone else in his life. So Superman is happily overjoyed because he's thinking about the possibilities and stuff. But shouldn't Superman think about the possible consequences of what this could happen? I mean, there are millions of villains out there. And after Lois tries to get him to see sense by throwing a book at him, Lois gets a email from Jimmy talking about a councilman bribe attacks and stuff. And Clark says, "I should come with you." "Oh, you should. You know, I don't remember you being so protective before you found out I was pregnant. Maybe you only care about the baby." I like how Lois is saying, "Your plan is finally apparent, alien. You have come to this planet only to breed, and you have chosen Earth's most beautiful woman for your alien." And Lois points out that she's not going to stay in the house all day and for the next few months. So pretty much she encourages Clark to let her go, and which he does. Meanwhile, Batman is taking down criminals, and while Superman is just watching him. And pretty much Clark has some news, but Batman says, "Lois is pregnant. How did you... You're sweating. Your pupils are detected, and your left hand is twitching. You don't usually show any outward signs of stress or fear. The last time I saw you this ahead, you were facing doomsday. You're grinning." And meanwhile, Jimmy and Lois are checking the councilman, but they find it pretty weird until a gun points out, and Clark points out to Bruce saying, "We want you to be the Godfather," which Batman looks pretty happy about. But just then the unknown person shoots Jimmy right through the lens. It's like, "I got some Jimmy on my shoes. Hi, Lois." So pretty much the next day, Superman looks in horror saying, "Jimmy!" and knowing that his best friend has been murdered. Meanwhile, Batman investigates Star Labs and notices that chemicals have been disappeared. And Superman worrying for Lois' safety, and so they get the whole Justice League into action. They get Green Arrow, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, The Flash to help. And they head to where Scarecrow's lab is, only to find out Scarecrow is dead. And Lois finds one of the dockyard workers and finds out that Joker's got a sub. So Superman goes in without wearing, I don't know, a Kryptonian suit or anything that could protect him in case it could be laced with kryptonite or something. Just then Superman's like, "Lois! What they do to And so Superman believes he's facing doomsday, even though it's Lois. And so Superman says, "No, Lois, the baby? Here we go. Stay away from them." And so he takes Lois up in the air. And he says, "Time to go." We're just going to leave. But this is the first time I've ever owned one." And so they try to leave, and Harley says goodbye to a ship which he called Gunter, and he says, Gunter is a terrible name for a submarine. So pretty much they investigate what's going on, and Joker points out that he's drugged Superman, and Batman investigates the area. So pretty much he points out what's going on, and so despite Batman's trying to reason with Clark saying, stop Superman, but one, they've got Green Lantern. Shouldn't he go up and try and stop Superman? But just then, Superman finally does what he does, and Joker says, did you know he was pregnant? Ugh! And you can tell right now, Batman's like, how dare you bring that up? And to Superman's horror, Lois, the woman he killed, was Lois. And so, the bomb goes off and blows Metropolis to Kingdom Come. Now, Superman, a broken man, stands helplessly as the man he used to be. And Batman is interrogating Joker, asking why did he do this? Why did he hurt him? And Green Lantern manages to get some of the people to safety, and so did Flash. So Wonder Woman talks with Clark, and he's like, Diana, I killed them. No, you are not responsible for this. And so he asks Diana to hold on to Lois's body, and he flies off to go after Joker. Okay, I know Wonder Woman's meant to defend Superman, but shouldn't she go after him? I mean, given the fact he's going to do something he can never take back. So Superman decides to go after Joker, and Hal Jordan tries to talk with him, saying, Superman, where is he? The Joker, where did they take him? And Hal stupidly gives him the locations and should probably stop him. So pretty much he tries to make a powerful green bubble, which doesn't work, and Superman breaks it to pieces. And just then, he tries to stop him, but Superman manages to get the Green Lantern ring off of him, causing Hal to nearly fall to his death. But just in time, Superman yanks off the communicator and flies off. Afterwards, Joker talks about how this is all going to change, and Batman believes that his best friend is not going to cross that line. And Joker pretty much bets that things are going to change. Just then, Superman breaks in, throws the table aside. Angry that everything he had has been taken from him, he throws his fist right into Joker, saying, Ugh! And Batman looks helplessly as he knows that the best friend he's ever had, and his only friend, has killed his arch nemesis and expected Superman to set a good example. Meanwhile, Harley Quinn kills some police officers and manages to get away in a police car. And pretty much leaves out and heads to where the Joker's hideout is, but Green Arrow manages to find her. And pretty much Green Arrow tries to take down Harley and gets her. So they pretty much head to where his arrow cave is, and she stupidly knocks herself out with arrow gas. So pretty much Harley Quinn is in Oliver's arrow cave, and she says that it sounds like a stupid name, and it should be called the Quiver, which he actually admits that it's actually a better name. So pretty much Harley Quinn and Green Arrow are talking, and Harley Quinn puts a joke saying about being a sidekick. Meanwhile, Superman is in the Fortress of Solitude, hearing all the news, everything that's going on in the world. So Superman heads to the Republic of Blavalia to settle out and manages to rescue a kid just before he's being bombed. So Superman manages to help everyone and takes on the Dictator, breaks through the doors. Well, despite the guards knowing that they haven't got a chance with Superman, he takes the leader of the nation, flies him up in the air, while all the others get ready to confront him. And he's like, "You have no right. I am freedom." Not anymore. And so Diana points out that everything's being recorded and that they need to talk to the public to show what happened. So meanwhile, Clark points out that he is sorry for what happened and says that his real name is Clark Kent, his Earth name, and that he's an alien. And he promises to bring down the terrorism and destruction of the world by any force. Now, this is part 1, so I'm going to have to end it here. So if you like this, comment, and subscribe. If not, I don't mind. So, Comic Review here, signing out.